All right, are we on? I can't hear me.
Can
Testing
you hear
1,
me?
2. Hello. Another mic. Here. Hello. Can you hear me?
Here, use my mic. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Okay, we can hear it now. I don't know. Something was not right. All right, everybody. That's the best way that you'll never forget this show. We start off with a big mistake. How's that? If you do everything right perfectly for 20 years, nobody remembers that. But when you make one mistake, they remember it. This is Ron Houston, and we're here to talk about Texas show. And actually, it's the very last show that we're going to do for right now because of health concerns that I have incurred. I have no choice but to have to let the show go, but that's okay. We'll be back someday. I don't know when or how, but we will be back. We've enjoyed it. We always do. My cohorts on the show today are Sharon Arnold. Sharon, good to see you.
Good to see you, and thank you for having me on the show. I love it.
I know. It all started with the phone call when you called me and you say, and you said, "Is this Roy?" And I said, "Yeah, who's this?" Sharon Arnold. And I hadn't talked to her in 2-3 years. And from there, we went ahead and got the show going, and Sharon became
the blabbermouth.
A star of the show. Now, our other star of the show, he couldn't be here today, is John Nava. John is undergoing some illness, and we need to pray for John Nava.
Yeah, we love you, John. We miss you.
John's a good guy, and he would be here if he could. John's real involved in his church. Mm-hmm. He's a Catholic church, and he's a deacon over there at his church and everything, and he's a really good person, and without John, I couldn't have put this show on this time around. He was responsible for East End Glass sponsorship. Yep. East End Glass, of course, you know, has been around for a long time.
Yep.
I think 70 years.
Yep. Yeah.
And they handle a lot of the large accounts. But, you know, one of the things John emphasized to me, he says, you know, those big accounts are great. He said, but where our bread and butter is, he said, is the small accounts.
Yeah.
He said, because they tell people and they get a lot of repeat business.
Yeah. And John does so much. I mean, they do glass and they do
well, just think of what he does at the rodeo.
Doors and he does a lot of stuff for the rodeo.
Yeah.
And he was partially responsible, along with you, from getting some very important people on the rodeo this year for us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that really added a lot of class to our show. I had several people say, "How'd you get them?" I said, "That wasn't me." They wouldn't return my call, but they did. I had somebody they did, though. So anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about your son being at Fiesta, right?
Okay.
Okay, and we want to talk a little bit about our friend Julio Gomez. He's been one of our sponsors of the show since the very beginning. You know, they do preventive maintenance, freezers, fryers, grills, plumbing, power washing, special lighting, concrete, asphalt, paving, stripping, electrical. Their phone number, if you want to get a hold of him, 210-601-0761. 210-601-0761. Julio
great
Gomez.
Guy. He's a great guy.
All right, on the phone with us right now is a friend of all of ours because of her involvement at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo for 26 years.
Oh, my God.
She has been the chairman of this one committee.
Yeah.
Rita Stitch, how you doing today?
I am doing very well. Thank you for having me.
I got your buddy here with me today.
Thank you for taking time out of your
Sharon.
Sunday. Hi, hon. How are you?
Go out to John. I'm so sorry to hear he's going through something.
Well, we'll give a lot of prayer for him and get him out of there. I think he's taking it easy. I said, you need to get up and get going.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Well, Rita, tell us a little bit about yourself and the history, because you really are a historical person out there. You've been there 26 years. Tell us a little bit about what it was like when you first started, and do you remember who was the person or persons responsible for getting you involved in the rodeo? Because usually everybody has a little story about that.
Oh, that's good.
Well, it actually started with rodeo tickets that we received from A.J. Plow, which not very many people remember. But anyway, the Plow family is very prominent and still very involved.
He was the county commissioner and the county judge.
Yeah.
Yes, and so our family was fortunate enough to have him help us get some tickets. We had 8 tickets on the front row, and that's how we got started. And then as my children got older, I decided that was going to be my charity of choice, so to speak. And so when I joined, it's been 40 years that I have been involved out there, and I have been a chairman for the past 26 years for the Go Western Gala and Golf, the Sale Invitational Golf, and the Let's Rodeo Ball. So it has been a very wonderful, family fulfilling, very gratifying experience that I could never explain how great it's been.
Oh, you've been a great asset there. You have done a great job. And all the entertainers that you've got on over the years have been just amazing. Who was your favorite entertainer that you had on?
Well, I think Brooks and Dunn. We had early
They were
on
good.
In the Go Western Gala days. They were affordable at that time.
Right.
Not so much now.
Yeah.
We had many. We had George Strait. We had Conway Twitty. We had
Yeah.
all the greats of that time. And we certainly had some good ones, since then. Clint Black and, just many of them. And it's harder and harder to find, I think, that kind of entertainment in this day and time because there's so many young people who are breaking into the country music world and it's just changed a lot.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Well, because you have to spend a lot of time, or somebody does, on keeping up on what's going on. Because if you don't pay attention to what the costs are on those big acts, you can lose your rear end, right?
Well, fortunately, Sale provides us with.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody knows what they're doing.
With Derek, yes, and he does a marvelous, wonderful job. He books all the entertainment for us and for all the fundraisers and for the rodeo, and so we can present who we'd like to have, but everything is done certainly within our boundaries and our budget, and it's just it's harder and harder now since they don't sell records. Everybody downloads the music, so it's concerts are a lot more expensive than they used to be.
Right. They are.
Now you moved into the Joe Freeman from where? You were someplace else, or what was that?
Well, we were at the Joe Freeman from the beginning of the Go Western. From the Go Western days when I was involved. I think it used to be downtown, at the La Villita Hall. I think it was there.
Yeah,
and
Assembly Hall.
Anyway, it's moved, and then they thought maybe we should move over to the AT&T Center when it was first built, but that did not exactly have the logistics that we felt was the best, and they tried it there, and they tried it over at the Expo Hall, and when they asked me to come back and see if I could revitalize that event, I told them we needed to take it back to the Coliseum where it belonged.
Yeah, because
And
in the
that's how-
AT&T Center, everybody kept falling, remember?
Well, it wasn't so much. It was that maybe too, but without the concourse where everyone could move all the way around and see each other,
Right.
and you had to stay on one side or the other, it wasn't conducive actually to all the socialism, not socialism, but the social part of all our entertainment, all our people who came there wanted to see what somebody was wearing or who somebody was, and everybody's friends were there. So,
well, thank you for
that's why
moving
we
it back.
moved
It really did a great
well, that
job.
was
and
14 years ago, and it's been really wonderful. And Sale has been wonderful to help us, revitalize that. So
Right.
We're very fortunate.
Let's talk about your food, because I know you've been working with one particular caterer for a good while.
Yes, we have Rosemary, the RK group. And, Rosemary was certainly involved in the early stages, and Greg has been wonderful ever since, Kowalski. And, we've tried some others. And, of course, when Don Strange was alive and doing the big catering jobs, we did have him. And, it's just a process. You have to find someone who can serve that many people and keep the food warm and supply coming in. And actually RK is the only one that, we've been able to find that would have the high quality food, that we would certainly want to serve these customers who pay quite a bit of money to come to this event. So
Yeah.
they seem to work best for us. It's expensive, but people pay good money. They would like good food.
Well, because of you, I got to meet Rosemary Kowalski. And remember that time when we did the show from their office over there?
Yes. I
That was
do.
quite I don't know about you. For me, that was quite a deal in my life because I knew who she was. I'd heard about her, but I never dreamed I'd get to meet her, let alone put her on the radio show. So that was quite an experience.
She was great.
She was
a great lady.
Wonderful person from the get-go, and great history, and it's continued on, thank goodness, with her family. So they're very successul, and we're very proud to have them as part of our team.
Now, along the way, you've done a lot of those shows out there. You haven't done it by yourself, and I know There's a couple of people that are your right-hand people out there. Talk a little bit about those people that have been right there beside you, helping you out along the way.
Well, I've been so fortunate for the past 14 years since we reformed the Go Western Gala and turned it into the Let's Rodeo Ball to have Ward Richter as my vice chairman. Mm-hmm. And he is now going to be chairman this year since I stepped down.
By now he should know the ropes, right?
Oh, he is absolutely going to be, he is the best informed chairman that anybody could ever want, because I've included him in everything, and he's been my right arm all the time. And, we've certainly had too many to name, actually, but, I've had great support from Ronnie and Terry Urbanzik as huge presenting sponsors ever since I started this thing.
Yeah, they're a great couple.
And, Gary Joris has been there to help us, and he's also sponsored some, a lot, and a lot just, I think the credit actually goes to the committee. They have been the most wonderful, hardworking, family-oriented committee anybody could ever ask for. They have been so supportive, never had a problem. Everybody just pitches in, and we get it all done.
It's
so
amazing to see them come together and work, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And some of those work nights, they just everybody's doing their own thing, gets it done.
But we do.
You're a great chairman.
Blessed.
You're a great chairman.
Well,
and I would go.
you.
I would go down there, and I would see you running around working, and then having all your other people there to help you out. And it's a great event. You've done a great job.
Well, I've tried to have all these fabulous sub-chairmen, too many to name, and that's how I kind of did it. I just kind of said, okay, that you're in charge of this, and you're in charge of this, and unless you have a problem, that's your area. You go do it, and then find me if there's something I need to do to help you. So I really felt like when I became chairman, I was so blessed to have that opportunity that, I was going to treat everybody the way I like to be treated. I was no different than any other volunteer, because that's exactly where I came from, and that's where I will be from now on.
And you've always done that to everybody, treated them well. So what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now?
I'm going to stay on the committee. And, I started out on the auction committee, and then I had the golf committee. I've been considering going back and getting on another committee. I'm going to be on the past chairman's committee. And, I'll be very involved. And, of course, I'll still have, the rodeo to go to, which is love of my life, one of the loves of my life. So I will continue to be involved and try to help raise money and enjoy all my wonderful friends and family out there. It's so important to me.
That's great. That's great. And the rodeo donates so much money to the kids. I mean, I forget how much we gave last year, but it was outstanding what we gave to the kids.
It was so wonderful, and it's run so well, and just directed toward the community, toward the kids, and the auction goes so well, and these kids work so hard. I don't know how they do it, actually, but
I know
they do. And we try to raise extra money for whatever we need, and that's just what the fundraisers do. So anyway, we're pretty happy about just trying to be helpful toward this great cause, I think.
Well,
Rita Stitch, I wanted to say thank you for everything you've done. And fortunately, I'm fortunate to have a radio show that I can do that and put you on. Not everybody has a radio show, but I've got one, and we've got some good people that with me that are doing this. And so we wanted to say thank you for your 26 years of service on that committee. Now, I didn't know that you'd been there 20 years beforehand.
Well, I joined and actually as a volunteer in 1984.
So you've been around, and we appreciate everything. And I know I've been there on your committee, and I've seen you work.
Well, I've been surrounded by great people. That's for sure.
moving and shaking. So
right,
and that's you want to know why. If you ever want to know why the San Antonio Rodeo is so successful, just go out there and watch Rita Stitch when she was committee chairman, and watch her getting after it and getting to everybody. And what was interesting is you never had to crack a whip. Everybody busted their rear because they wanted to get it done.
Well,
they're self-motivated.
They've been wonderful.
Yeah.
Everybody's been so kind, and you all have been so great to promote and help us over the years. And I'm very grateful for that, especially for helping the Stock Show and Rodeo just get better every year.
Well, Rita Sutch, thank you so much.
Thank
we
you for
appreciate
everything you do.
And we'll look
Thank
forward
you,
to seeing you
Jennifer.
soon. Maybe sometime you get loose and we'll take you to lunch, okay?
That would be great. And God bless you all. And
You
my
too.
prayers are with John.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
All right.
You're listening to Talk About Texas. I'm Roy Holly. Sonny Holly is here with us today, as well as Sharon Arnold. And Sonny, you were on some committees out at the rodeo for a while, weren't you?
Yes, I was on the raffle committee to begin with, and then I went to the, I went blank all of a sudden, and then I was on another committee, and we did parades and the other stuff.
Yeah.
With Cindy
Oh, yeah.
Gidden. Yes, I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the committee,
Don't worry about it.
but yes, I enjoyed it all the time that I was there.
Yeah, I know. You used to be in the parades a lot, right?
Yes, on the weekends we'd
Was
sign
that
up.
fun
for,
to meet all the different people?
Yes,
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know this, but the rodeo, San Antonio Rodeo, has a outreach program for these parades, and they go to all these small
Yeah.
town parades.
right.
Yeah. They go to all these small towns.
We had to sign up for them in
yeah.
advance because
And-
it would go fast.
and you would get on a float, remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Get on a float and
Yeah,
ride it. And,
they play music. We had a good time.
yeah.
All right, well, let's move on. We've got another person on the line with us. Totally different topic. Cindy Perdue. Cindy, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
What?
No,
No. Good, Cindy. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be on the radio.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. They're trying to give me information, and it's hard to do a radio show when people are trying to talk to you. I can tell you right now. No, I got it. Cindy, tell us a little bit about your organization.
Okay, well, we are the Big Bend Bluegrass Association. We are a nonprofit 501c3, of course, and we started in 2021. We formed the association so that we could bring bluegrass to far west Texas, and we planted the seed, and we're watering it and making it grow.
So
We have a
you're a
sorry,
big
go ahead.
bluegrass supporter yourself, right?
I am, yes. I played bluegrass myself with my family and some friends for.
Oh, I
for
didn't
many,
know
many
that. So you're a
years.
performer as well.
Yeah,
Huh.
I sure am. Yeah, we played for quite a number of years, and my dad had started a small festival in Wickett, Texas, and this is a spin-off of that.
Oh, that's great. So what do you play?
Yeah.
You sing and you play guitar?
Well, I do play guitar. My primary instrument is upright bass. That's what I played.
Okay.
I was the backbone of the groups.
Oh, that's great. You kept them in line.
I tried. But yeah, that was my goal.
Yeah.
Well, Cindy, when is this event happening, this big bluegrass festival in Alpine happening? What's the dates on it?
This year our event is October 3rd and 4th. That is a Friday evening and an all-day Saturday event. We have workshops on Saturday that are free for the public, anybody that wants to attend. And we have a jam tent set up. So for those who like to play music but prefer to just sit around and jam, that's what the jam tent is for. Come out and
It's a very, very different
sit
thing
around and
because
play.
people come together and they have a
is.
great time.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Yes. And they may not see each other for many months, but, you know, they have this following. They will follow around and they meet up at these festivals. And it's like they just picked up where they left off the last time they saw each other. Just sit around and play.
That's
Have a
great.
great time.
Well,
That's
now,
great. You do that.
how long has this been going on?
This will be our 4th year for here in Alpine.
So you've made it
Oh,
4
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
That's quite an
Yeah,
accomplishment in the event business.
It really is, you know. They say, you know, I've heard 3 years and 5 years. We made it over the 3-year hump. So, you know, I had a deep breath when we got over through with our event last year. And, you know, we grow a little every year. And so, you know, that's the goal. And we just we give back to the communities with funds that we raise from this event. So that's the primary purpose is, you know, of course we play our performers who come in. We have people that come in from all over, Virginia, Georgia, Tennessee.
Wow.
Performers. And so, we've had people from Oklahoma and, of course, Texas, and some from New Mexico. And so, yeah, we bring a diverse group of people in for performing, and we also have a diverse following people that come in. We've had people from Utah. And,
That's a
we
lot.
even had our first year, we had somebody from, I think it was Scandinavia or something. They were from overseas. So, it was really thrilling to
bet.
have that exposure,
Yeah.
So they, go out and spread the word.
Yeah, that's great.
It's bluegrass is a special kind of music. It's different than country or rock and roll or anything. It's got its own
Right.
deal with people, and there's people that like other genres of music, but they also like bluegrass. And the people that
Exactly.
like bluegrass, they'll drive 1,000 miles to hear it.
Exactly. They will, I mean,
They're very dedicated.
Very dedicated. The miles and stuff is no object to them. They will, a true heart bluegrass fan will, like you said, drive many, many hours and miles to follow and see groups that, they want to do. And of course, out here, we have a lot of attractions as well for not only just the bluegrass, but while they're here, we've got the Big Bend National Park, we've got the Big Bend Museum at our Sul Ross State University, and art galleries and different places for them to see. We've got the McDonald Observatory, the Fort Davis Fort, and so there's a lot of history in this area as well. So that's a big.
And there's
draw
a lot of art too. There's a lot
Yes,
of
there is.
artists that live in the Alpine area now. And not too
Correct.
far down the road is Marfa. There's a lot of more. There's some more different kind of people, but there's art in Marfa too. So it's a real artistic area.
Yes. And that was one of the reasons why I thought that the festival would be a good fit for this area, because there is a lot of music, a lot of different genres. And I was like, well, why not, bring the bluegrass out here? And there are, folks out here that love the bluegrass music, and they're, like, yay. So, like I said, we've planted that seed and just nurturing it and making it grow.
Well, that's great. That I really need to come out there and listen to that.
Yes.
Well, Sonny went out there last year with me.
Yes, Roy and I went out there a few years ago, and it was great. We had a great time that weekend.
We got to hear
That's
some great
awesome.
music. And what I like about
Yeah.
bluegrass, it's great. I like to listen to music. I'm not a very good
Yeah.
dancer, but bluegrass is good. I can just sit back and take it easy, and I don't have to worry about somebody saying, "Why aren't you dancing? Why aren't you dancing?"
Right. Well, and a lot of times, the performers will interact with their audience and stuff like that. That's a big thing
Yes.
with bluegrass is, it's acoustic, of course, and stuff, but
Right.
it's storytelling and stuff, and they do interact with the crowd very well. So, we had a group pull up a local guy here and had him sit in on a song and play with him. And that's something he's going to remember for the rest of his life, so, and these people will do it, at different festivals. They'll, pull somebody up on stage and let them play with them and stuff. And that's what it's all about. That's how you get the genre to grow.
Well, Cindy,
That's great.
people are listening right now, and they say, that sounds like a good idea. It's in, when is it, October?
October 3rd and 4th.
All right. It sounds like a good idea. We'd like to get more information. Give me a phone number and a website that they can go to and mention it twice slowly, so people want more
Okay.
information. They know where to go to find out.
Okay. You can go to our website, which is bigbendbluegrass.com. That's all one word, bigbendbluegrass.com. And we have a festival page. They can check out what's going on, our accommodations, and get their tickets there. And they can reach me at 432-238-6850.
One more
Again,
time,
that's-
Cindy.
432-238-6850. And either way, my email, they can contact me through the website. They can contact me on my phone. If I don't answer, leave a message, and I'll get back to you pretty quickly.
Cindy Perdue, thank you so much. I've enjoyed
Yeah.
knowing you. We're going to
Thank
try
you for
our
being on
best
the
to be
radio.
out there.
Yes,
and get us a place to stay and get out there and maybe go to that thing
absolutely.
again. And I appreciate your
Thank
call and
you.
taking time here
Looking
on a
forward
busy
to it.
Sunday.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for
have a
having
good
me.
day.
Uh-huh. You too.
We're listening to the Ron Houston Show, talk about Texas, and this is our last show. And we want to say thank you to everybody for listening in. We
Thank
appreciate
you, Al.
Thank
And
you,
thanks
Al.
to Al.
You're welcome.
Al's been our man here.
He has.
And,
Al has really done
Sharon
it.
Arnold for coming in and being with us. And of
Oh,
course,
I love
John
it.
Nava.
And John Knopf.
John, I miss you. Come
And
home.
we pray for you, John. Hope you get to feeling better. John
Yeah.
Nava, East
and
End
go
Glass.
to Fiesta and see.
And Gomez Facility Solutions and Fiesta. What?
Fiesta this year is April 24th through May the 4th. And Sonic Radio is playing out there on the 30th.
All right. That's it. We're wrapping it up. So long, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.